In this video, we will be discussing about the prolactin hormone. I mean, the basics of prolactin hormone, which are required, to understand its pathologies. The pathology of pituitary gland when it fails to secrete prolactin, or when it hypersecretes prolactin, which is obviously more common. So, first of all, synthesis of prolactin. It is a 198 amino acids polypeptide and it is secreted by lactotrophs. In one of the previous videos, we discussed how the lactotrophs develop from the pluripotent stem cells. See, pluripotent cells will require a transcription factor named PIT1. PIT1 will convert pluripotent cells into lactotrophs, and lactotrophs will secrete prolactin, which is 198 amino acid polypeptide. Secretion. How it is secreted? Usually, most of the pituitary hormones are secreted in pulsatile form for their proper action. I mean, throughout the day, their levels will keep on changing. For example, in case of prolactin, normal basal levels are 10 to 25 micrograms per liter, and their maximum level in the blood is around 4 to 6 a.m. in the morning. Prolactin secretion is negatively regulated by hypothalamus. What does it mean? It means that hypothalamus has inhibitory control over the anterior pituitary as far as secretion of prolactin is concerned. I mean, hypothalamus will always try to put a brake on the secretion. It will not stimulate the pituitary gland to secrete. Pituitary gland will secrete prolactin on its own, constitutively. But hypothalamus controls the secretion by putting a brake on the anterior pituitary gland. How that brake is put? It is put by dopaminergic innervation and resultant suppression of lactotrophs by the hypothalamus. So it is very much important. How it is significant? It is significant in this way that whenever there will be loss of hypothalamic control over the pituitary, there will be excessive secretion of prolactin, whereas this is not the case with other hormones of anterior pituitary. Other hormones will decrease in level whenever there is hypothalamic failure, but prolactin is one hormone which will increase when there is hypothalamic failure. So that is why this concept is very important. So pituitary stalk section, right? Suppose this is hypothalamus and this is pituitary, right? Now hypothalamus puts a brake over the anterior pituitary. Whenever there is stalk section, there will be no brake and pituitary will increase the secretion of prolactin. This is what is being written in this line. So pituitary stalk section can cause hyperprolactinemia. Example, what is whenever it is seen in whenever trauma involves the stalk. So this is very important concept. How prolactin is going to act? See, action. Action is JAK mediated. Means the receptors are obviously present in the final receptors are always present in the nucleus, but how its signal is going to reach to the nucleus is via JAK, right? Pituitary, this prolactin will stimulate the, suppose the membrane let me mark it this way. Suppose prolactin acts on the cell membrane receptors, right? Prolactin stimulates the cell membrane receptors. Membrane receptors will stimulate the JAK, which is an intermediate signaling molecule. JAK will stimulate the STAT. STAT will carry this signaling message to the nuclear factors or transcription factors. and they will lead to gene expression, right? So the action is JAK-STAT mediated. There are many other intermediate molecules in other pathways, but in this pathway there is JAK-STAT which is involved, right? It induces and maintains lactation. This is the action of prolactin. Lactation is its main action, right? Lactation. It also suppresses the reproductive function and sexual drive. Why? Suppose a lady gives birth to a child and she starts lactating. Now, to ensure that the newborn is getting enough feed, the newborn is getting enough, nutrition from the breast milk, the nature will, you know, not allow the mother to conceive again in near future. So that is why at that time the lactation will continue, but other sexual function, sexual drive, reproductive function will decrease on its own. How it decreases? By inhibiting hypothalamic gonadotropin releasing hormone. It inhibits the hypothalamus to stop, stimulating the secretion of LH and FSH. LH and FSH are required for the sexual function, so there will be stoppage of sexual function. So this is how prolactin can cause hyperprolactinemia, can cause infertility if it is expressed unnecessarily. So hyperprolactinemia is associated with decreased libido and amenorrhea, which is seen postpartum or it is seen in pathologic conditions. So that is all about the prolactin hormone. It is very basics. It is not pathology. It is just the physiology and how the synthesis, secretion, and action of prolactin is carried out. That is all about this video. Thank you so much for listening.